everybody, how are we? It's Alex. It is a Monday morning. Weekend was rather busy. Last week was rather busy. It's kind of hard going back to the phone after the GoPro. So to be honest, I didn't pick up much last week because I was just too busy getting the work done. But we've got a good week this week. Lots of stuff going on, but I'm going to try and get shots of stuff and videos and bits and bobs. So we got one this week. I didn't do anything over the weekend. Sorry, couldn't be asked. But first off in today, we've got this Audi S3. It's a little cabriolet, and we've put some thinkware dash cameras in him, which are just up there. Front and rear cameras. One looking backwards, one looking forwards, obviously, because the roof comes down, so you can't really put one on the back window because it disappears and the cables will get chopped. But nevertheless, what's going on? Yeah, so busy week. We've got a lot of stuff in. Stock has kind of arrived for bits and bobs. We've got a range coming in this week, a Porsche coming in this week. What else? We may make some more stuff. I plan on getting in a big wood delivery so we can start the build on the Chaser, get that underway. So I can start listening to music again in it because it's boring with an empty boot. But other than that, yeah, Monday, getting this bad boy sorted, and we'll crack on with some more bits and bobs this week. See you soon. Morning everybody, it's Alex ASC. How are we? It is a Tuesday, Snap on Tuesday, a Tuesday. Not in yet, we'll see what happens later on, but for now, I've got something rather cool in, or should I say rather big in. Porsche Boxster. This has the, let's just spin you around. This has the full Bose audio, so it's got the door speakers, the mid-range and the tweeters. It has the subwoofer shelf as well. The Porsche unit down there, and we're just stripping it all out because the amplifier, the fiber optic and everything else has failed. So the amp normally sits here and the CD changer sits there. They're currently just down there. We're putting in an Audison bit 8.9 amplifier, which is going to sit here. We've then got to rewire pretty much most of the car, run in some fiber optic loops. The good thing about the Audison 8.9 bit is that it's kind of like an active amplifier. You can set and designate what channels you want to do what, mid-range, sub, tweeter, and in doing so it means you can run a system like this completely active, so there's no need for kind of crossovers and things like that, because the amplifier, you can set all that up on the laptop and you can do it all remotely. So it gives us scope. With this one we've got a Porsche fascia, so that's the fascia kit that's going to go in it. It's going to be having one of these in the front, and then this is the Bose shelf, which basically sits, I'll just show you this. The Bose shelf kind of sits under here, just under there, but it has a tweeter each side and a mid-range each side, which dummies up as kind of like a sub. So here's your tweeters, mid-range, tweeter. But they're run in a fashion that basically means that these step down to 0.5 of an ohm, which no amp really is going to handle very well. So we're going to bridge them, run these up to 2 ohms, which the amp will handle, and then these will go up to, they're like 3.3, 3.4 ohms, so there's near enough, damn it, 4 ohms, the amp will handle that. So we'll run some, you can see there where I've put in a new cable to this one to bridge it out. So we've got the subs running together, the tweeters running separately, so these can be on a bridge channel, these can be separate, they can be separate. Mid bass in the doors, both sides, they can be separate, and then the dash, they can be separate. So we run 8 channels with a bridge rear end, so effectively 7, but we're just going to extend this down, run that through the car all the way out. I'll show you this little grommet actually, because it's if you're ever doing a Porsche, it's nice and easy. So at the back of the dash, once you take out the standard stereo, you've got like a little hole through there, you see that? So through there is a little hole. So through there is a little hole and it runs, let me grab my torch, right up to where we're going to be wiring in the amplifier, which comes there. See that little hole? So my torch there. So there's this is the grommet, which goes just in there. So you can kind of run your wires straight out through, round to your amplifier. Nice and simple. Obviously your power's right there anyway. Yeah, so the amp can go in its kind of normal location, a sensible location, and then from there we can run our stereo system, set it up all up on the laptop and get it sounding nice and lovely. But I will come back to you when this is done. Crack on. One thing I will say though, whenever you're doing a car like this, if you ever do get the chance to work on a Porsche, a couple of things you've got to do. One, in the side of the cage, you sometimes get I think it's a green wire, green and black, or a grey wire, and it's like a little security tab that earths onto the cage. If you don't isolate them, I've seen notes on the Porsche website, well not Porsche website but Porsche forums, where you know them internet mechanics, they talk about you put them all to ground and then you stop the alarm from beeping, so when you lock the car it goes boop to say that the glove box is open, or you know you've not shut something because the radio is not in situ anymore. You don't. You cut them off and you terminal. You cut them off and you isolate them. That's what I'm looking for. You terminalize them. You cut them. You ruin them. You bite them with your teeth. You just tape them up, leave them to one side so they're not going to ground. Otherwise, you still get the beeping from the alarm. But also, if you ever do fit one of these, they come with a secondary cage that sits at the back. All right. Get this thing out. Do not put an aftermarket radio with this inside, because when you put in your front cage, which is going to kind of sit here, the radio has to go through this thing, and I shit you not, it's not deburred at all, and it's as sharp as a knife, right? If you push your radio wiring onto these edges, you will either have a short, a fire, or fuses will pop. So 2 talks, get rid of this thing, don't leave it in the car. Knowledge bomb. Well, that's finally done. That was hard work, but it does sound good. So the amp's back in its standard location with all the cables running through where it should be. Obviously his box, his old radio, his old amp, that all sorts of stuff. But that one is done. Shut that down. There we go. Posh. Now inside, obviously it all looks original other than the head unit. Microphone's up here, digital aerials over there. This is just tuning in some DAB. So yeah, with the 8.9 obviously we've got tweeters are active, mid-range in the dash is active, subs in the doors are active, sub in there is active, so it's all off that 8.9 bit, and there we go. Jobs are good and you'd be happy with that. I am too. My brain's a little frazzled, but all is good. I like that. Cool. Right. Now I've just got to tidy up the mess. Should be good. Hey everybody, it's Alex. It is Friday the 13th I've been a bit lax with the videos. Work has been a bit crazy. We're still on the camera at the minute. The GoPros come in next week, so hopefully I should have one by then. But I'm doing some bits and bobs around the shop, so I thought I would make a video. Let's grab a torch and I can show you what's going on. So there's wood and mess and crap everywhere. I've got like a new order in of wood. Kicker boxes sort of not being used anymore. The table's out. We've got wood cutting, and I'm just currently making up some templates because the chaser boot build, I said I was going to do it, and I've started. So we've made a start. That's going to be the start of the box. It's going to be a multi-layered subwoofer box, so I can fill up that spare, get the right airspace, and then obviously get the crossovers and the amps, which are just kind of swinging in the breeze at the minute. Good job it's my car, we don't do that with customers. But yes, everything is as is. Crap everywhere, a rather busy week, and I got a new toy from Kicker, which is lovely. One of them, the mini Bullfrog, waterproof speaker, Bluetooth, very cool. And you can take calls on it as well. And they sent me this, which I've modified a little bit. It's an old stand that they had. This was a separate shelf here, but I've routed it out and put a little sub and a box on the back of it. And now we've got music, which is all good. And Tokyo Toms, God love them, have sent me this little bad boy. I've now got a clear Perspex cover for my 1J in the Chaser, which is dead ace. Look at that. Isn't that nice? So thanks, Tokyo Toms. That's rather cool. I like that. So yes, rather busy week. Lots of stuff going on. There is a mashup of videos which I'm going to hash together to keep you all filled in. But it's getting later on in the day, and I wanted to touch base and kind of say hi. Thank you for the comments on the videos, by the way. There's obviously a lot of box discussion on at the minute, and one of my followers has, you know, we've been throwing comments backwards and forwards, and he said he was going to email Snap-on in America and, you know, give a brief rundown of what's happened. So I appreciate that. I do appreciate that a lot. As much as it pains me to say, I don't want to lose my Snap-on stuff, but I need a tool solution. So if it is the case that the big, you know, the boss man steps in and you know, sorts it out, I will be happy. I would be happy because it's, you know, it's kind of what I wanted. So we'll see how it goes. But at the minute, I won't be accepting just, you know, any old box at discount. But thank you for the comments and whatnot. I always like a bit of feedback. It's good to hear your opinions and stuff like that. Regarding the best and worst tools, I will do something. So I will do a video where we talk about, you know, what you should spend your money on and what you shouldn't spend your money on. Things that I found have broken very quickly, and stuff that is kind of robust. But I will do it. I will do a, you know, what you should avoid, what you shouldn't. Like that tape measure, the Snap-on tape measure is something that I would tell everyone not to buy, because it is just crap. It doesn't work, and I've had 3 of them and they've all failed, and I've gone back to a cheapie from my sort of local hardware store, and it works and it works and it works and it works. Whereas, you know, the Snap-on one that's 3 times the price, no bueno, no good. But that's it for today. I'm gonna chop this video up. We will speak again soon. So oh, Lotus stuff. Had a call from the guy from the Lotus magazine. The car is confirmed. It is going to be a cover car, and it's going to be out January 2nd or 3rd. So keep your eyes peeled for the Lotus mag in the UK, because Lucifer, bless him, is going to be on the cover. See you soon, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye. Morning, everyone. It's Alex. It is a Saturday. Just finished this VW Jetta, the newest shape one. The sun is so bright I can barely see. So good actually that we've just fitted a camera, because I can actually see where I'm reversing the old fascia kit and the Pioneer. because other than that, the sun is a wee bit bright today. A big ball of light in the sky, but it's lovely and chilly. It's really fresh out, which is nice. So this one's finished. It's got a few electrical issues. I've managed to fix this light up here. It's there's actually, the switch here has had a fire. This is all burnt out up there, so I'm gonna have to tell the customer that he needs to get a new part. Little microphone, let's try not blinding you. Little microphone there, reverse camera on the back and a tailgate, and a little Pioneer in the dash. Still on the phone at the minute. GoPro camera, obviously it's back with the suppliers, so I've got to get a new one ordered. We can obviously have the 8. But I think that's about it pretty much. Ooh, let's just turn down this radio. Taking care of you in the midday mix. I'm looking forward to that. There we go. Ah, the joys of the weekend. Get my old squeegee out and clean up some water. The fun of running your own business, see? Everyone from the CEO to the cleaner. Squeegee cam. Exciting, hey? Yeah, I know. So I was thinking, let's pop that down. How would you guys want to do, correct me if I'm wrong, Q&A, live questions? You want to ask me anything, I could get online and we could set one up. We could do a live video where you get to ask me loads of stuff and probably talk shit. But yeah, I'm cool. So I'm down for it if you are. So if you want a Q&A, you know, if you've got anything on your mind that you go, do you know what? Yeah, I want to ask him a question. How do you feel? Should we do one? Let me know. I'm down. Right, time for a cup of coffee and a cake. Cake! Hey everybody, how are we doing? I'm cracking on with a boot build. I've just got some kerfing tips for you, that's all, because I'm playing. Right, so here's my workpiece. You can see my kerfs. This is basically the start of the box section, which is going to be the kind of subwoofer enclosure. But what I don't want to do, see, is make the chaser too heavy. So I don't want loads and loads and loads of wood. As you see in some other videos where sub boxes weigh like half a ton. I don't want that. I want to keep the weight down. So we're going to go for a single wall all the way around the outside, and what I'm doing is I'm making this shape in stages, and then I'll kind of miter the ends and then tooth them into each other, and then do sections and then seal up the insides. But what we've basically got so far, let me just find something to put on the table so you can see. So here's our curved piece. There's my edge so far. So what we are doing, let me just turn it around the right way. So this is going to be this kind of edge here. Just get that there where it needs to be, and I'll grab you so you can have a little look. So it's kind of sit like this. You see where I'm making these edges? And then I'll tooth in this piece and that piece into the next bit of wood. But you're using the kerf to make the edge of the box. And one thing I did find, which might be of use to you, is that when you're kerfing, hang on a sec. Let's just get this out of the way so I don't split what I've made. Right, so our wood is down. There we go. All right, our wood is down. Can you see all the kerfs? Now the problem you've got is when you're running multiple kerfs, like this one here, what I tended to find was the cut at the top. You know, you worry about the wood cracking this section here. So the kerf was not coming out uniform on this bit. In the middle bit, it wasn't cutting as much. Now, sounds really silly, but even this short piece from here to here, the wood, as I'm cutting it, is slightly doing this. It's lifting. So what's happening is you're getting from the start, you get like this tiny gap where the wood will bend nice and freely. So up here, where the wood was thicker at the top end here, and it wasn't bending as much. So here's a little tip. When you're kerfing, you can see my blade here. When you're kerfing, put a piece of wood on top. Obviously you need to be really careful with your fingers so close to the blade. You can use a bigger piece if you want to, but what I started doing was putting the wood on top. Now this section of stock is not going to get touched, obviously, because we don't want to come out the top of our piece of wood anyway. But you can use this piece of wood, so as you're pushing down on it, you keep the wood dead flat, and then you end up with an even kerf. You even cuts. It doesn't kind of stagger the cuts and make the wood prone to cracking. Also, I'm an idiot, but if you're going to use a saw like this, don't have these things hanging, because the last thing you want is to lean over the table and catch it and pull your face into it. It's not going to end well.